Welcome to the Startup Funding Espresso. I'm Hall T. Martin, where we talk about how to raise funding and invest in startups and the time it takes to drink an espresso. If you have a question about startup funding or investing, please go to the website, startupfundingespresso.com, and type in your question into the chat bot in the lower right corner to receive an answer. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, this is Hall T. Martin with the Startup Funding Espresso, your daily shot of startup funding and investing. Investors use metrics to understand the performance of the startup. Here's a list of key metrics by stage. Pre-seed, user engagement with the prototype. Since there's no revenue-generating product, look at how often and how long the customer engages the prototype. Seed, initial revenue traction and cash spend. Track month-over-month growth rates and how much of the revenue is recurring. Look at the burn rates of the company to see how much runway they have. Seed Plus, continuing revenue traction and more efficient use of capital. Startups often raise an additional round after the seed raise. The funds continue to grow the revenue and the company should see a lower burn rate. Series A, revenue run rate with an increase in retention. The company should be finding product market fit and so more revenue should come from retention. Series B, revenue run rate with a greater increase in revenue than cost. The company should continue to grow the business, but the cost should flatten or decrease on a unit economic level. Consider these metrics in reviewing a startup. Thank you for joining us for the Startup Funding Espresso, where we help startups and investors connect for funding. Let's go start us into today. Hall T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.